Welcome back! Welcome back. We're here with Eli Strother from Hummingbird Jewelry. Eli is 12 years old and he launched his own jewelry line when you were 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how that happened. I think it happened quite naturally when you were at your mom's office, right?
Yeah, my mom, she works in an art department on movies,
Mm-hmm.
and she was working on Superman, Man of Steel, and she had to collect like these different types of rocks and stuff that they could use for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got a bunch of green agate, something sort of like this.
And it caught your eye.
Yeah, and she didn't notice they had holes drilled in them. So I took you know how the ceiling fans, they have those chains to pull on them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I took one of those, strung it through, and then I tied it at the end, and she started wearing it at her work. And people started asking her where she got that from, and she told her that her son made that. And so
Wow.
she started buying more and more stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I started selling there at her little office.
Right, and these days you're always selling out of material because we put all this together, but you're like, well, I think I sold everything. Let me go home and see. So you make things and they go like that,
Yeah.
right? And your clients are mainly at farmers markets and craft fairs and
Yeah.
stuff. And like one day, would you like to have your own store, like an
Mhm.
actual store?
Yeah,
In-
that'd be cool.
Mhm.
A little, like, not a huge store, but like just a little shack.
The little shack. So I have learned so much from you already. So I learned the concept of Wabi-Sabi, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. I think it's changed my life. Thank you. Would you like to explain what that is in your own words?
It's kind of like the beauty of unfinished but finished. So it's like kind of like this. Like it's kind of rustic.
Rustic, correct? Yes.
So,
Yeah, and so you're attracted to, because you're really gifted at displaying your stuff as well, which is a whole other thing. Like when you go to a farmer's market and you're a vendor, or you go to a craft fair, you're getting your stuff to stand out. Like if I was at a farmer's market, I would instantly, I love the graphics, I love just the way you have displayed everything, and that in and of itself is a degree program at FITM, right? Merchandising, but you just have these natural abilities. So you're just a stylish dude, and you like various textures. That's how you work, probably just kind of like, I like the way that stone looks, and then I like, the way you match colors. You seem to like earth tones and just kind of, as you say, rustic. So would you like to walk us through a few of your pieces here?
sure.
First of all, actually, these two are here. I didn't even see this gorgeous piece at the end. What is this guy at the end here?
That's a freshwater pearl.
Freshwater pearl. Are we seeing that on the camera?
And then these are aquamarine.
And is this an example of macrame?
Yeah.
So explain that a little bit. Things
Yeah,
and
macrame, like some macrame stuff, it's like really, like there's like bunch of knots, like you'll see, it's kind of hard to describe. There's like a whole bracelet that's just full of knots and
Mhm,
knots,
mhm.
but macrame, it's just little knotting. Like,
oh, I see. Yeah, so little
So,
knots.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
and then
Cool.
this is a macrame slide knot at the top, and so I have a piece
Oh,
over
that's how
there.
you clasp it? That's
Yeah.
really
So it
cool.
can get bigger and smaller, but I have a piece over there that's just made out of that.
So how did you learn some of the more nuts and bolts things of jewelry making? Did you take any classes or you just figured this out yourself?
I sort of kind of like watched on like YouTube and Pinterest.
Tutorials,
I went on
yeah.
Pinterest and looked up like different ideas. Or like sometimes when we go to gem shows, when we get all our supplies, there'll be people that'll be selling stuff, and then like we'll talk to them a little bit, and then
Mhm.
they kind of show me like some stuff, like how to do it. Like when I started the macrame, there's this person, she created a naughty do-it-all board, and so she showed me how to do the slide clasp,
Mm-hmm.
this part, and the knotting, and then I kind of started making up my own stuff from there.
And you're a quick learner, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Like for me, like the slide knot, I'd be tearing my hair out. You just like, yeah, I get it. Like you're just a natural. What is this one?
That is a freshwater pearl.
So it's all freshwater pearl. It's beautiful. And before we go into these other pieces, if someone wanted to buy something from you, do you work with clients and custom make them, or how do you work?
I do. I sometimes do custom making. So I first started out with just agates and string, and they would pick out the agate that they wanted in the stone and the string and string it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But now I do sometimes, like at my shows, I'll still do the agates.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sold out of something, I can custom make it. And like I had one client that she kept coming back, so she'd come to our house and she'd pick out all the stuff, and then the next day she'd pay for it and I'd give it to her.
I think what I'm realizing about you is that you're going to need to hire some people to do the work because you're getting more orders than you can make yourself, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to hire, would you be a nice boss?
I think so.
We think he'd be a nice boss, don't we? Yeah. So what are some of these pieces over here?
This one is a Amazonite it's a teardrop necklace, and they call it a teardrop is because when you wear it, it kind of has a teardrop effect.
Uh-huh.
So this is Amazonite with a pyrite, and then the tassels are aquamarine.
Cool. Now, are you also into what the properties of the stones are, like what they do, the healing properties and all that kind of stuff? And so when you talk to a client, do they tell you things like, I don't know, do you ever say to a client, I think Amazonite would be good for you right now, or do you, not so much?
Not so much, but Amazonite, its healing properties are, it keeps away radiation, so supposedly you're supposed to keep it like a piece like this, you're supposed to keep it like on your computer or like between you and the phone, so it reflects radiation, and about every 5 days you're supposed to get rid of the radiation that's on it by soaking it in hot water.
Oh my goodness.
And then it says to let it charge about every 10 days in the sun for about an hour.
My goodness. And you tell the person who's buying the jewelry, that stuff, if they ask her.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And then, so you like working with Amazonite, and what is the other one?
Freshwater pearl.
Freshwater pearl, but there's another one you told me about. Agate. Where is agate?
Right here.
That one's the agate.
Yeah.
Does that come in different
Colors?
colors?
Yeah, it does. So they can be yellow, green, purple, red,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of colors, blue even. And you can actually change the color. We don't change the color,
Oh.
but when you put them, there's a special type of oven,
Uh-huh.
and it heats them to a point where their color changes.
Oh, wow, like mood rings. Remember that. Well, that's really cool. And is there something that you think would be a holiday big seller for like Christmas time and all? Or anyone that
I
you're...
think the bracelet and the ring.
These bracelets, yeah. Gorgeous.
This one, it's fluorite.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Like, how long would it take you to make one of your more complex pieces? Some of those must take...
Like this one?
Yeah, that must take you a long
This
while.
one took about 30 minutes.
That's all? So tell them it took 2 hours when you're selling it at the stand. I would just say days. It took days.
What I was talking about is the
Look how pretty this one is. A half an hour, you're quick, Eli. That's beautiful. But is this metal?
Those are copper beads.
But the thing is just
String.
string. But you've worked it up so much that it's very like solid. Like I thought it was metal. That's very cool. So if someone wanted to place a custom order, say, or they want to just buy stuff online, and I know that each piece is a one of a kind. So it's not like you're going to be like have an actual photograph of the jewelry the way it's going to come to you if it's shipped to you, because each one is individual. But so how do we find you on Instagram or website? Or
My Instagram is eli.strother, and my email is elistrother
Mom?
iCloud.
oh yeah, elistrother@icloud.com.
Okay, well, we're very proud of you. So we'll be right back with Andrew samples and a holiday song. Yay! Yay!